Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
We have the garage doors wide open, and so we're keeping going, and the garage doors are wide open, so the air conditioning isn't really affecting us in here. So it's kind of warm, but it feels great in here. We get to watch some baseball on a beautiful evening. We'll start with the Valley City Kings lineups as the umpires are meeting with the coaches out at home plate. Batting first for the Valley City Kings, this is Cameron Pitts' lineup, and he's assisted by Owen Struble for the Valley City Kings. Batting first and playing at second base will be Cole Bullinger. Playing shortstop and batting second is Chase Coughlin. Batting third and catching is Ty Cordy. Batting cleanup and playing at first base is Hudson Krewald. Batting fifth and playing at second base is Keegan Cleveguard. Batting sixth and pitching is Elijah Praska. And batting seventh is the center fielder, Joey Mayhews. Batting eighth, the right fielder, Zane Werzer. And batting ninth, left fielder, Lucas Keatsman. It looks like this: Bullinger, Coughlin, Cordy, Krewald, Cleveguard, Praska, Mayhews, Werzer, and Keatsman. That's your lineup for the Valley City Kings. Now for the home team on the scoreboard, the Kindred Vikings Babe Ruth team. Here's Nick Eggman's lineup, the head coach. He's assisted by Jeremiah Doctor. Batting first and playing at second base, Jackson Schliemann. Batting second and playing at shortstop is Carter Grunwald. Batting third and the designated hitter tonight is Derek Stone. Batting cleanup and playing at first base is number 8, Trayton Teberg. Batting fifth, and playing at third base is Teague Erdman. Batting sixth and playing in center field is Jack Savageau. Batting seventh and catching, number 11, Alex Iverson. Batting eighth and playing in right field tonight is Eli Mack. And batting ninth and playing in left field is Jacob Lindeman. On the mound tonight will be number 26, Sam Bernier, getting his first start in Legion ball, or in Babe Ruth ball.
Sure.
And he did pitch a little bit in school ball, and we're hoping for good things from Sam Bernier tonight.
Oh, I bet you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sounds like something you'd be rooting for.
Well, just like both pitchers, Elijah Praska pitching for the Valley City Kings. Both pitchers want to work ahead, work that strike zone, and attack that strike zone, and make this a fun game. We got a lot of baseball on your live event this week. On Tuesday, Wendy and I broadcast Little League night, and so we broadcast 2 rookie-level games, and that was a lot of fun. We were at Pro Egg Fields. There was a couple of home runs, and
nice.
We had a couple of interviews with the young men that were the player of the game.
Sure.
And that was sure a lot of fun. And then last night we had 2 A-Legion games. Unfortunately, the A-Legion lost both games in last night's games, but we played well, and there was a lot of really good baseball played last night against the Devils Lake Storm. We lose the first one by a score of 2-0, and then we lose the second one by a score of 6-4. But it was sure some fun baseball to watch.
And it sure seems like there's a lot of baseball played out in Kindred. It sounded like in July they're hosting a tournament again.
Yes, we'll have that Shields tournament again in town. Right now, going on at Stadion Field is the B-Legion Ball Club is playing. The B-Legion actually played Tuesday here in Kindred as well while we did the Little League game. tomorrow night, this Babe Ruth team travels to Castleton for a doubleheader.
Okay.
And then on Saturday, they were back here at versus Park River on Saturday for a doubleheader, and we will carry those games on your live event as well. Are you going to be here for those games?
If I can be.
Oh, if you can be, then
if I can be,
well,
I'm
you are
in.
officially invited. We'll take a break, and we'll come back with the first pitch on yourliveevent.com.
Year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Tick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
And we're back. What a beautiful night for some baseball. Valley City Kings in town taking on the Kindred Vikings in a Babe Ruth matchup. Again, we'll have a doubleheader tonight. We have a 7-inning counter, counting towards the standings, followed by a 5-inning non-counter. Sam Bernier on the mound for the Kindred Vikings, his battery mate, Alex Iverson. These kids have been playing together for a long time, since they're, 6, 7 years old. And so Sam's been throwing to Alex, and likewise, Alex has been on the mound where Sam's been the catcher over the years. So they've been playing together for 8, 9 years,
Sure.
and I expect some good things tonight. And finally, this team, this age group, all these players on the field pretty much have been on travel teams together, and they've won a lot of games.
Yeah.
Lost a lot of games together, but the point is they've been playing together for a long time. Now it's finally coming together where the teams aren't split up at the rookie level and at the beginning Babe Ruth level and so on.
Yeah, and that's fun for it to full circle moment where everything's starting to kind of play out and shape into the team that you're going to see moving forward.
So it should be a fun night of baseball to watch. Around the horn defensively, we talked about the battery, Sam Bernier on the mound and Alex Iverson catching. Trayton Teberg gets a start over at first base. Jackson Schleeman's playing second. Over at third base, Teague Erdman. And then at shortstop is Carter Grunwald. Jacob Lindemann out in left, Jack Savageau in center, and Eli Mack gets a start in outfield. He's playing right field. For Valley City Kings, Cole Bullinger, Chase Coughlin, and Ty Cordy will come to bat against Sam Bernier. First pitch, in there for a strike. Gareth Hansen, the umpire behind the plate tonight. On the bases, Josh Michelson. First pitch is in there for a strike. Here's the second pitch, in there for a strike. 0-2. We talked about that it's important for pitchers to get off on the right foot, attack the strike zone. Here's the set and the pitch. Swing and a line drive. Base hit into left field. A little too much plate on an 0-2 count. Chase Coughlin will now bat, so a leadoff single for Cole Bullinger. Chase Coughlin steps to the plate. He's a shortstop. Talk about on that 0-2 count, you don't want to waste one, but you don't want to throw it down the middle of a hittable pitch either. Here's the first pitch to Coughlin, down low, ball one.
Yeah, and you're not kidding about wanting to start ahead, especially on nights like this. I mean, during the anthem, I was noticing the flag is just still. You're kind of cooking out there, so you want to get your guys back in the dugout as quick as you can.
And off on the pitch is Bollinger. He's still second base. Wasn't the greatest pitch for Alex Iverson to make a transition on, and the throw was kind of towards center field, towards the second baseman, but they caught it. The pitch was a strike, 1-1, and here's the next pitch. It's fouled away, strike two. 1-2 the count. Runner on second, nobody out. Leadoff single, then a stolen base. That's where we're at. Beginning games of this doubleheader. 7-inning affair. I'm Mike Bernier. Greg Kramer joining me, running the controls, learning the ropes again. Was with us last year. Had a lot of fun. Here's a 1-2. Off speed is away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's the set and the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's off the glove of Iverson. Runner now figures out that he can run, and the runner will move up to third base. It'll be a pass ball as Bollinger moves down to third base on the pass ball. Coughlin is out on the strikeout for the first out, and he's out on a 2-3 putout. Here's Ty Cordy, the catcher. Where's number 23, right-handed hitter? Has a little leg kick. First pitch to him is inside, ball one. Infield is playing back, conceding the run for the out. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Teague Erdman is playing about even with the bag. I think a hot shot to him. He's going to check the runner back and throw him out at first base. And the pitch, swing and a line drive, base hit into left field, and that'll score a run. And just like that, it's 1-0. An RBI single for Ty Cordy. Hudson Krewald steps to the plate. He's a first baseman, batting in the cleanup spot. Runner on first. Here's the set and the pitch. Fastball is in, ball one. Hudson Krewald, right-handed hitter. Where's number 5? Cameron Pitts coaching down at third base. His assistant, Owen Struble, coaching at first. Ground ball over on the left side. Grunwald fires across the diamond. Teberg's there in time for the out. It's a 6-3 putout. And there's 2 away. No chance to get him at second. I didn't see if Cordy was taking off on the pitch or not, but it was kind of a slow roller on the left side, so Grunwald decided to go to first base and get the out.
Yeah, it seemed like the right play. He would have been pushing to try to get double there.
Keegan Cleveguard steps up. He's a first baseman. Here's a little looper into right field, and it lands foul. That was in no man's land out there. Our camera angle couldn't even get over there because the wall is in the way here. But it did land foul for strike one. Two down, runner on second base. Bernier trying to minimize the damage. Here's the set, here's the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. 0-2 the count. Looked like Krewald went after ball one there. Pitch was up a little bit. Off speed, down in the zone, call the strike. And Sam gets him on strikes looking. So 1 run on a couple of hits, 1 runner left aboard. At the end of a half an inning, it's 1-0 in favor of Valley City with the Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Back. We head to the bottom of the first inning. The Kindred Vikings coming to bat against the starting pitcher, number 14, Elijah Praska. His battery mate is the catcher, Ty Cordy. He'll face the lineup of Jackson Schliemann, Carter Grunwald, and Derek Stone. Trey Teberg bats cleanup. T. Goodman batting 5th. Jack Savageau 6th. Alex Iverson 7th. Eli Mack 8th. And Jacob Lindemann bats 9th. Valley City picks up a couple of hits and a run in the top of the first inning. Kindred Vikings trying to get back into this one right away and get back on it right away in the first inning. Kindred Vikings come into the game 6-1 on the season. And Jackson Schliemann comes to the plate. Solid left-handed hitter. Here's a pitch. Off speed is down low. I keep saying in the dirt all season. I've been saying in the dirt, but this is the first year of the turf around home plate and down the baselines. I'm going to keep saying dirt because I'm old school, but it's hitting the turf. Off-speed pitch is swung on and missed. 1-1 the count. Right-handed pitcher Elijah Praska for the Valley City Kings. Tall right-handed pitcher pitches out of the full windup. It's becoming a rarity now. Most kids are pitching out of the full or out of the stretch. Here's a line drive into shallow right center field that's going to fall in there for a base hit. So Schliemann starts it off, banging a single into right center field. And Jackson can run a bit, so I would expect him to be off on the pitch. So a leadoff single. Similar, Cole Bollinger led off with a single, came around to score for Valley City in the top of the first. Jackson can run. I expect him to test the pitcher right away. He does not go. First pitch to the batter, Carter Grunwald, is in there for a strike. Number 4, Elijah Praska. Pitching out of the windup. Out of the stretch. Here's a set. Throw over to first base. Not nearly in time. Schliemann had plenty of time to get back. Pitcher will do that on occasion. They'll throw over to first base, not really give them their best move, just kind of show them something. Not give them their best move and kind of save that for when they're actually trying to pick them off, but just trying to keep them honest over at first base. Here's the 0-1 delivery. Not going. Pitches up. Ball 1. Derek Stone is on deck. Here's a 1-1 set, and the pitch. Runner's off, pitches a ball, throw down to second base. Not in time. Good throw down by the catcher, Ty Cordy. Made that closer than I thought it was going to be, but Schliemann swiped second base. And the pitch was a ball. It's a 2-1 count. Carter Grunwald has a chance to drive in the tying run here, runner in scoring position. The left-handed hitter here, is he trying to pull the ball, Greg, to get him over to third base in hopes that it squeezes through for a hit? Or you just let the kid bat?
I would imagine he's just going to see any sort of pitch he likes and just swing the bat at it, to be honest.
Well, he doesn't have to move him over to third because a wild pitch will move him down to third base. So Schliemann on at third after the wild pitch. The pitch was a ball. 3-1 the count, so a good hitter's count for Grunwald. So now you just want to sit back and drive it.
Now you're just putting the bat on the ball, and anywhere it goes, it's probably going to result in something good for you.
I always like the 3-1 count. You can sit back and take a big rip at it if it's there. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. Swing and a line drive. Foul ball by inches down the right field line. That was a good call.
There it is.
It was foul. Carter put a great swing on it. Hit a line drive down the right field line. But it's nothing but a loud strike.
Yep.
So now the count is full, but it's still, the count isn't in anybody's favor here, so Carter doesn't have to be super aggressive. Swing at strikes. Here's the 3-2. Off speed, he walked him. And now that spells trouble for the pitcher at this level because now you got the first and third game going on here, so more than likely Carter's going to be off on the pitch. And we got a pinch hitter. Derek Stone was batting in the third spot as a designated hitter. I don't know if the heat got to him, but whatever the reason, we'll try to find that out. Isaac Johnson is going to get an at-bat here. Isaac can hit the ball. Well, hopefully you find out what's going on with Derek. Here's a pitch. It's a ball. Throw down to second base is not in time. Cut off by the shortstop. So another stolen base for the Vikings and Carter Grunwald. Pitch was a ball. Isaac Johnson coming to bat. Pinch hitting for Derek Stone. Derek Stone was in the lineup as a designated hitter for the pitcher. Isaac Johnson comes in to hit the ball, and he can do so. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a foul back to the screen. Isaac's always had very good use of his hands. He swings the bat well using his wrists and hands, and he makes good contact. He gets the barrel to the baseball very quickly.
This is basically a dream scenario for a three-hitter is runners on second and third with no outs.
Here's the 1-1 from Praska. That one's down low in the turf dirt. 2 balls and a strike.
That turf dirt.
Is that the first person that's ever said turf dirt?
Well, speaking of the turf dirt, I totally forgot to ask Dan Nathan how much he misses going and raking out the turf dirt line.
Yeah.
He says he misses at 0.
He misses having the lip down the third base line, too.
That's right.
Oh, he's going to go back to second. Fake back to second, but Carter only had a couple step lead, so he's back safely.
All these years, and he can never figure out that lip for whatever reason.
Yeah. I got a lot of grief for that. I just really meant where the third baseman plays, guarding against the seam, but, man, take offense. Here's a line drive base hit. That'll score 1 run. Schliemann comes across the score. Grunwald being waved home. He'll score a 2-run single for the pinch hitter, Isaac Johnson. And again, Isaac Johnson, nothing complicated about his swing. He takes a step, rips those hands and wrists through the ball, and rips a 2-run single into left field.
Well, if it results in 2 runs, I think we'll take it.
A 2-run single. Schliemann scores. Grunwald scores. It's 2-1 Vikings. Now Trayton Teberg steps to the plate, first baseman. Trayton has tremendous power. He could lose one in this ballpark in a big hurry. Here's the pitch. Swing and a foul chopper at the plate, strike 1. Teague Erdman is on deck. 2-run single for Isaac Johnson in a pinch hitting role. We'll check on Derek Stone just to make sure he's okay. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a chopper again at the plate. This will go over to the Valley City dugout.
It seems like a lot of these, whether they're hits or foul balls, are being swung on early. These Vikings are out here looking to hit the ball right now.
I will say that Praska doesn't throw the hardest that
Sure.
they've seen this year.
Yep.
And the Vikings are full of good hitters. Here's the swing and another chopper over to the dugout.
Yeah.
And I think you're right. Trayton is trying to wait back, but he's having a hard time. He's swinging out in front of it. When you face a pitcher that wasn't throwing extremely hard, did you try to sit back and try to drive it to right?
Honestly, yes. Yeah. That was something my dad instilled in me from a young age.
Isaac takes off on the pitch, and this ball's launched down the third base line. It's foul.
Wow.
Into the evergreens.
There was some pop on that one.
And he's way ahead of it once again.
Yeah.
And
I now firmly believe you on the losing one out of the park.
Yeah.
That was up in the evergreens.
Yep. He almost hit the lights up there down the third base. And Trayton will hit one out of this ballpark sooner or later, whether it's this year or next year. Again, tremendous power from a young age. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Elijah Praska on the mound, throwing out of the stretch. This inning started with a single, walk, single. Isaac Johnson was off on that last pitch, and there he goes again. This is a breaking ball in there for a strike. Throw down to second base is not in time. Isaac Johnson with a stolen base. 3rd stolen base for the Vikings. T-Berg does go down on strikes. Had a little trouble with the curve ball there. 1 out. Early goings to this game, bottom of the 1st inning. Teague Erdman steps to the plate, playing at 3rd base tonight. Where's number 9? Big right-handed hitter. Teague's got some pop. He can hit the ball hard. Here's the pitch, swinging at a chopper, foul. Teague played on the Teague played on the 2024 Babe Ruth Championship team, and he's actually a grade ahead, but he's at that age where he could play another year of Babe Ruth.
Sure.
So he decided to play. Here's a line drive into left field. That's a base hit. Isaac Johnson being waved home. He's going to score. And it's an RBI single for Teague Erdman, a line drive base hit into left field. Isaac Johnson comes across the score, scores from second base on the single.
And once again there, Mike, everything's getting pulled right now. Nothing's getting pushed out to opposite field.
Yeah. It's 3-1. That'll bring up Jack Savageau, solid left-handed hitter once again. There's no easy outs in this lineup. There just isn't.
Yeah.
Everybody can hit. And everybody's got a lot of experience playing this game of baseball. Pitches in there for a strike. 22 pitches thrown by Praska. Here's the set. Throw over to first base is not nearly in time. Teague Erdman back. Valley City put up a run in the top of the 1st inning. Vikings have answered back with 3 of their own. Here's the pitch. It's up and away. 2-1, the count. Savageau, left-handed hitter, has that little bat wiggle that he's had since he was 6 years old. Here's a pitch, swinging a hard ground ball into the hole on the right side. That's a base hit. Erdman is going to try to take third. The throw from the right fielder will just be cut off by the second baseman. The right fielder, Wurzer, just opted to toss it to a second baseman. Erdman reaches third on a ground ball single into right field. 4 hits now for the Vikings. That brings up the catcher, Alex Iverson.
A lot of nice contact being made. Nothing other than the foul ball into the evergreens. Nothing being just ripped out there, but a lot of nice contact out of the Vikings.
Iverson trying to make it a bigger lead, trying to change the score. See if Savageau takes off from first base here. He does. Pitches in there for a strike, throw down to second, not in time. They threw all the way through, but Savageau swiped second base. That's 4 stolen bases on the inning. Truth be told, Ty Cordy, the catcher, has made some pretty nice tosses down to second.
He has.
Savageau just got a really good jump, and he's got some good speed, and he was able to swipe the base. Alex Iverson batting with an 0-1 count, swing at an off-speed pitch. And I believe he fouled it off. 0-2 is the count. Eli Mack is on deck. Here's a pitch from Praska. Off speed, down low. Nice block by the catcher, Cordy. Ty Cordy is the catcher. Cordy is spelled C-O-R-D-I-E, pronounced Cordy. Here's a 1-2 pitch from Praska. Swinging a little chopper towards head coach Nick Eggman. Fields it cleanly. Makes a decent throw. No errors. Good fielding percentage so far for the head coach. Here's a 1-2 set by Praska. Looking to work out of this inning. Off speed. In there for a strike. Iverson goes down looking for the second out of the inning. And I think you got to chalk this up to a win for Praska if you can get out of here with just along the 3 runs scored.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you're honestly getting to that breaking point of starting to feel the heat, and you're realizing how early in the game it is. You got to get back in the dugout right now.
Eli Mack's a good hitter. Here's a high drive into left field. Back over the left fielder's head. That's going to score a couple of runs. And there it is, the big hit, the big bomb by Eli Mack. He's going to have a double at least.
He's going to score.
He's being waved in. The left fielder did drop the ball. Now he's being held up. So it's a 2 RBI triple for Eli Mack. Solid 2-run triple. And that does some damage. And here you're going to see Cameron Pitts come out to talk to his pitcher a little bit here. Let's see if we're going to have a pitching change. He certainly wants to calm down his pitcher. He's thrown 30 pitches. He's gotten 2 outs on strikeouts, and they were both looking. He seems to be changing speeds well. Perhaps his only downfall is he's leaving the pitches up a little bit.
Sure.
And the Vikings, to their credit, up and down this lineup, solid hitters.
Yeah, I mean, that's the tough part about this level is the 30 pitches. It seems like a lot, but he's honestly hitting the strike zone really consistently, which you hate to ask for much more than that at this level, but the Vikings are just hitting the crap out of the ball right now. So
he walked Carter Grunwald. That's his only walk, and he's got 2 strikeouts.
Yep.
But think about this. Eli Mack's batting 8th, and he's a very good hitter, and he just roped a 2-run triple pretty much to the fence over the left fielder, over the left fielder's head.
Yeah.
Up and down this lineup, the Vikings do very well, including this young man, Jacob Lindemann. He can also hit the ball.
Yeah, it's a big ask when you're facing a team like this to just be a strike thrower.
Praska looks on, holds him on at third. First pitch, nice block by Ty Cordy. Used his body well. It was one of those pitches that was off speed in front of the plate, and you don't really know if it's going to skip, if it's going to bounce up towards you. And fortunately for Cordy, it was able to come up and hit the chest pad, able to prevent a run for the time being anyway. Here's a pitch, swing and a miss by Jacob Lindemann. For Valley City, 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. Kindred with 5 runs on 5 hits and no errors. So both teams earning their runs by swinging the bat. Here's a pitch from Praska. Down low and in the dirt. And just as I say that, the Vikings are going to score their 6th run on a wild pitch. On the 2-run single, Erdman and Savageau scored. Now Eli Mack scores on the wild pitch, making it a 6-1 ball game. Jacob Lindemann batting, left fielder, 2-1 count. And the pitch, off speed is inside, 3 balls and a strike. The next pitch will be the 35th for Praska. Swing and a chopper, foul. No chance for a play on this one for Eggman as it bounces into the dugout. Full count, 2 outs, nobody on. 6-1 lead for the Vikings. Praska now throwing out of the full windup. Rocks and fires. Fastball is down low. He walked him. So the Vikings batted around. Now they'll send their 10th batter to the plate. Jackson Schliemann started this all off with that little looper into right center field for a solid base hit. He stole the base and eventually came around to score on the 2-run single by Isaac Johnson. And Jake Lindemann can run a little bit, so wouldn't be surprised to see him off. Nick Eggman not afraid to try to get that big lead in the game. Hopefully it helps your pitcher relax a little bit and throw strikes. Here's a set and the pitch to Schliemann. Outside, ball 1. In this heat, it's not hard to keep warm, but hopefully Sam is down in the dugout trying to do something to keep him, keep his heart rate up and, try to keep warm because it's a long time to sit in the dugout. It's a good thing because your team's putting up runs for you. Here's the set, pitch, up high, 2 balls and no strikes. Two-0 the count. You could really start to see Praska labor here. The heat is hot, and this next pitch is his 39th. And here's a pitch. It's up high.
I was fortunate enough I played with some fantastic pitchers where this honestly just didn't really happen kind of by coincidence and just having ace pitchers up and down the lineup. But I still have done this a few times. It gets bad when you feel like you're just kind of draining out there. But
there's a pitch in there for a strike. 3-1 the count now to Jackson Schliemann. Again, he's 1 for 1, has a run scored, stole a base. And Jackson Schliemann can hit the ball. Very solid left-handed hitter. He's got some speed. Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's up high, he walked him. Runners on first and second with 2 down. Brings up Carter Grunwald. Then we're going to have a pitching change. Coach Cameron Pitts was hoping that his young man could get through this first inning without having to do a pitcher's change, but it's just time when he's throwing 41 pitches now, and he just feels that it's just time to get him out of there. And Praska, like I said, he was throwing strikes, but now that he got later into this inning, he decided, he just threw too many pitches, and he's starting to be labor out there. So we'll have a pitching change. We'll tell you all about it when we come back on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing.
And we're back. PA announcer Dan Nathan giving the play-by-play on our ice cream that was brought up here from the concession stand. It is very good. I got chocolate, you got confetti?
Mm-hmm. It's
so
fantastic.
New pitcher, Keegan Cleveguard comes into pitch. He wears number 7. It'll be a straight switch, and the pitcher, Praska, will just go play third base. Here's a high pop fly out to the left fielder. That's Keatsman out in left field. He'll calmly make the catch, And Carter Grunwald is down after a couple of pitches with a fly out to left field, but the Vikings do some damage, put up 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning, have a 6-1 lead on yourliveevent.com.
Players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
And we're back. Kindred Vikings and Sam Bernier. Sam Bernier out on the mound. Vikings just dropped 6 runs in the bottom of the 6th inning. Here's the set and the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Sam will face Elijah Praska, Joey Mayhews, and Zane Wurzer. They're the 6, 7, 8 hitters in the lineup. 0-1 the count, and the pitch down low. So when your starting pitcher gets 6 runs, or you get 6 runs for your starting pitcher, you really expect that pitcher to come out and shoot some strikes, work ahead on the count. Here's a 1-2, swinging in a little looper into left field. Jake Lindemann's there, camps under it, makes a catch, 1 away.
Yeah, it just alleviates so much pressure and kind of just gets you into a groove where it's like, we've got this. Let's just throw some strikes and they've got my back.
Sometimes you just got to think, round bat, round ball, hard to hit it square.
Yeah.
Throw it over the plate, work ahead. Joey Mayhew steps up. He's the center fielder. Here's the pitch, in there for a strike. Sam has set down 3 in a row on a ground out, strikeout looking, and now a fly out. And here's the 0-1, fastball. Inside, 1 ball, 1 strike. Here's the set and the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors for Valley City. The Vikings with 6 runs on the 5 hits, no errors. Here's a 1-2 delivery, off speed, little chopper, blooped foul down the first baseline. Kind of a check swing, defensive swing, but he stayed alive. Did the right-handed hitter, Joey Mayhews. And here's a 1-2, fastball.
Ooh.
Down low.
Good spot.
Iverson couldn't quite squeeze it. Perhaps might have gotten the call. You never know. Here's the 2-2. That's right down the middle, it looked like. Iverson squeezes this one and throws it down. Caught him looking for out number 2 and strikeout number 2 for Sam Bernier. That'll bring up Zane Wurzer. He's a right fielder. Here's a set and the pitch from Bernier. Fastball in there for a strike.
I would imagine your answer is going to be yes, but has Sam been playing ball basically forever?
Yes. Yep. They didn't have a choice. No, I'm just kidding. But here's the 0-1. Lined into shallow center field. On comes Jack Savageau. Sure-handed center fielder out there. Makes the catch, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for Bernier. It's a line out to center field for the 3rd out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. At the end of 1.5, a 6-1 lead for the Vikings. Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
And we're back. We head to the bottom of the second inning. At the conclusion of this game, we'll have the Todd Wold CPA postgame show for any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation and consulting for individuals or businesses. Go online to wold-cpa.com. To bat for the Kindred Vikings, the designated hitter, Isaac Johnson. First pitch to him is down low, ball 1. Isaac Johnson came in for Derek Stone in the first inning. Derek Stone was a starting DH, but Isaac Johnson pinch hit for him, promptly laced a 2-run single into left field, stole a base, and came around to score. Here's a pop-up in foul territory. Oh, that could have been playable by Greg over here.
Yeah, I kind of figured that.
Yeah, that
based
landed
on the trajectory, I thought that was going to be close to coming in the.
Yeah. You stuck your hand out, so I started walking to the left and then hit it over to my right here.
I 1,000% could have caught that.
Here's a 1-1 pitch, swinging a high fly ball into right center field. This might be trouble, and it lands for a hit. Isaac Johnson picks up his second hit. Kind of a fly ball, but kind of right in the gap, right in between the right fielder and the center fielder, and it fell in there for a base hit.
Yeah, I mean, he's hitting the ball well right now.
Yep. New pitcher is Keegan Cleveguard. He came on in the first inning. Caught Carter Grunwald to fly out to end the inning. Runner on, nobody out. Here's a pitch. Pitch is up high. That'll end the line for Elijah Praska. He goes 2/3 of an inning, allows 5 hits, 6 runs, all earned, walked 3, and struck out 2 batters. Both strikeouts were looking. Here's T-Berg, swings and fouls one back to the screen. One of those strikeouts was T-Berg. He's 0 for 1 with that strikeout. T. Erdman is on deck. It's Isaac Johnson, T-Berg, and Erdman to bat in the bottom of the second inning. Vikings sent 11 men to the plate in the bottom of the first, putting up the 6 runs. Again, T-Berg with tremendous power. Not much wind to speak of. Beautiful night for some baseball. It's warm. The ball will carry a little bit more when it's warm. I don't know. It's physics. Something about molecules or something like that.
It sounds right.
Yeah. I've always wondered that when the air is heavier, the ball seems to travel further, and there was something to that. There's science behind it, but I don't understand it, so I won't try to explain it. Here's a pitch. Outside.
We'll just blindly trust you, Mike.
We'll just say, yeah, the ball can carry. So 2 balls and 2 strikes.
I know you've watched a lot of baseball and been around baseball for a long time, so I'll just trust you.
And here's a 2-2. Fastball down low. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Isaac's already stolen a base tonight, and he also scored from second base on a single. And here's a 3-2. Swing, or not a swing, but a pitch down in the turf dirt. T-Berg will get a walk. The ball is still live, but the ball didn't get far enough away for Johnson to take third base. A walk for T-Berg. Runners on first and second, with T. Erdman coming to bat. He had an RBI single, hard hit single in the first. He later came around to score. So he's 1 for 1, looking to extend this lead. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball down low in the dirt. 1-0. Dan Nathan doing the PA duties. Eric Iverson playing the music, running the scoreboard. Man, we have a lot of fun up here. Here's a pitch. It's a ball, 2-0.
Cordy's doing a nice job back there.
Yes.
He's been putting in work on these.
Yeah, and
the turf dirt.
He's caught a lot of pitches in these 2 innings.
Yeah.
But he's done a solid job. He's made some solid throws down to second base. Working hard back there. Here's a 2-0 pitch. That's in there for a strike. He's very calm. He doesn't move his glove all over. You know, every now and then you see a catcher will catch it, 4 inches inside, and they'll move their glove 8 inches over to the right, to try to get that frame call. He just moves his glove a little subtly, try to frame it a little bit. Here's a 2-1. It's in there for a strike. 2 balls and 2 strikes. To T. Girdman. Jack Savageau's on deck. Teague can hit. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swinging a little chopper past the mound. Second baseman flips to short. And he's out there, not in time for the double play. So Teberg is out on a 4-6 putout for the first out of the inning. Erdman reaches on a fielder's choice. Johnson goes down to third base, so runners on first and third with Jack Savageau to bat. Savageau's 1 for 1. He singled to right field and stole a base, came around to score in that first inning. So again, runners on first and third. Let's see how both teams play this. They've done some straight steals, and they've also thrown through a couple of times. Here's a pitch. Down low and inside for a ball. All kinds of plays you can play. You can have the pitcher cut it off, second baseman or shortstop cut it off, fake like you're going to cut it off, let it go through, throw down to third base, all of the things. Erdman does not go. He won't need to. Wild pitch. Here comes Isaac Johnson. He's going to score standing up. Teague Erdman goes down to second base. So Isaac Johnson scores on the wild pitch. Erdman down to second on that same pitch. Pitch was a ball. 2-0 the count to Jack Savageau. Still got a runner in scoring position. And Jack can hit. Here's the pitch. Swing. He wanted that one. Maybe went after ball 3, but he let it go with all guns blazing there. He took a big old hack at that one.
Yeah, I'd rather see a swing at a ball that's maybe not going to be a strike rather than watching a strike go by you.
Yep. Here's a pitch. Jack wanted that one too, but he let it go upstairs. 3 balls and a strike.
Similar location. He held off on that one.
He wants to hack.
That's right.
You don't go down and take batting practice and practice not swinging, right? At least I've never seen that. Here's a 3-1 pitch. Swing and a ground ball on the left side. Third baseman Praska's got it. Throws across the diamond in time for the out. The pitcher now playing third base. Praska makes a solid play over there, a 5-3 putout, and Savageau is down for the second out. Teague Erdman does advance to third on the play.
Catcher, number 11, Alex Iverson.
Keegan Cleveguard, number 7, right-handed pitcher throwing out of the stretch. Here's a pitch. Fastball is up. The batter's Alex Iverson. He went down on strikes looking in the first inning for the second out. Eli Mack is on deck. 7-1 lead now for the Vikings. Bottom of the second inning. Here's the pitch. Down low. Nice block. Again, kind of a backhand block by the catcher, Ty Cordy. Pitches a ball. 2-0 the count to Alex Iverson. Alex Iverson's got some pop. He could drive the ball to the outfield. Here's a 2-0. Down low. 3 balls and no strikes.
Yeah, it looks like Coach Aikman's letting Iverson swing at this one if he wants it.
Yeah. Let the dogs eat. If it's there, pitch is up. And he walked on 4 pitches. Eli Mack steps to the plate. Let's see if they have a courtesy runner here for the catcher. Yep. It'll be Jagger Jordheim will come on to courtesy run for the catcher. You can do that for the pitcher and the catcher. It's designed to save time between innings so the catcher could go get his gear on. And I like that rule because especially in the heat.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't bad tonight. It's kind of cooled down just a hair. This isn't bad, but the dog days of summer when it's 95 and humid, you want to get those catchers into the dugout, let them put some cool packs on between the innings here and cool down a little bit. Jordheim takes off. The pitch is inside. Throw down to second. They got him. He's caught stealing to end the inning. Jordheim is gunned down stealing, so they played through, and I tell you what, Ty Cordy's kind of fun to watch catch.
Yeah, Cordy is having a heck of a game back there.
So it was a 2-6 put out, I believe. Either way, it's a caught stealing for the third out of the inning. And after 2 innings, the Vikings lead at 7-1 on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neillsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
And we head to the top of the third inning. Valley City, the Kings, come to bat, find themselves down by a score of 7-1. In the top of the third inning, I'm Mike Bernier, along with Greg Kramer, bringing you Babe Ruth baseball. Valley City Kings are in town. Beautiful night for baseball. Field looks immaculate. Don't tell Dan Nathan that, but the field looks outstanding. Dan Nathan doing PA duties. Paul Quisleman had to go ump in the fields out back for the Little League Ball Club.
Oh, that's where he ended up.
Lucas Keatsman steps to the plate. He's playing in left field today. Swinging a little ground ball towards a shortstop. Grunwald charges it, and it'll be left out in the dirt. So that'll be an error. Keatsman reaches on the air. Bernier had set down 5 in a row before Keatsman reaches on that error. And now Cole Bollinger at the top of the order, the second baseman, steps up. He had a hard single to left field, stole a base, later came around to score. So he's 1 for 1 with a lone run scored for Valley City. Keatsman takes his lead. Here's a pitch, line drive. That's up the middle for a single. They have a chance at second base. Here's the throw. Oh. That's going to be, because a good throw has him, so we're going to call that an error. It's going to be E8. Even though it's kind of awkward, it looked like a solid signal in the center field, but Keatsman had a poor jump, and he didn't make it down to second base. A good throw, or any throw from the center fielder would have had him out, and it just kind of skipped in the dirt. So that should have been an out, so we got to call it an error. Even though it's not your typical E8 on the error. Here's a line drive. This is in left field. Lindemann goes back, and he can't get it. It's over his head. Lindemann fires it in. There's going to be a play at the plate, possibly. And there's no throw. An RBI double for Coughlin. I sure thought Lindemann had that. It looked like he had it measured. Then I think it was hit harder than he thought it was.
Yeah.
And it sailed over his head for the double.
Yeah, it almost looked like his immediate reaction was to come towards home plate and then ended up over his head.
I have 3 hits for Valley City. Here's a pitch. It's inside. And now they're saying it hit him. It hit Ty Cordy, so it hit batsman. So is that Bollinger out on third base? He did not score on that play, right? Keatsman is the only one that came across the score. So we got a ground ball error. We got another what appeared to be a base hit to center field, but Keatsman was standing about, 20 feet away from first base.
Yeah.
When the center fielder had a chance to throw him out, so we called that an error. Then an RBI double here. Now Cordy is hit with a pitch, and that loads the bases. Hudson Krewald will step to the plate. There's nobody out. So Nick Eggman goes out to talk to his team and says, hey, let's get back into this game, right? We still got a lead. We're still okay. Can't change what happened. We can change what's going forward.
Yeah, this is a good time for Sam to just kind of dial things in, calm this down, because it felt like things fell apart very quickly there.
So it's up to Sam. It starts on the mound. He's got to come out and start throwing strikes.
Yep.
Try to work out of this inning. Hudson Krewald will be the batter. He grounded out to short his first time up. Fastball in there, strike one.
There it is.
And it looked like Krewald was just kind of taking a pitch there, just kind of let's see what happens here. You know, maybe he'll uncork one, throw it to the screen. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Fastball is up. 1 ball and a strike. And here's the 1-1. Swing and a miss. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Hudson Krewald. Keegan Cleveguard is on deck. 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors for Valley City. Kindred, 7 runs, 6 hits, and now 2 errors. Here's a pitch, little pop-up, shallow right center. This is going to be caught by Jack Savageau. Throw to the plate, and the runner from third base will be held up. Solid play by Jack Savageau coming in, letting the ball eat a little bit and making a solid throw into the infield.
Yeah, he got that into the infield quick.
First out. Keegan Cleveguard will step up. He struck out looking his first time up. Now here's the set. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. First start of the year for Sam Bernier in this Babe Ruth League. Here's the 0-1. Swing and a chopper over towards first. T-Berg fumbles with it, flips it over to Bernier in time for the out. And there's 2 outs. A run will come across to score. And Cole Bullinger to make it 7-3 in favor of the Vikings. Coughlin does move up to third base. Ty Cordy does move up to second. Now we'll have a courtesy runner for the catcher, Ty Cordy. It looks like number 50, Amari Ronsberg. It's a 3-1 putout for the second out of the inning. Give Cleveguard an RBI for scoring the run. Both runs unearned. Couple of errors there. And here's the set. Here's the pitch. It's a fastball up, ball 1. I can tell you now that that's no consolation to Sam. He'll tell you that he should have stranded those runners and he should have shut it down. But here's a pitch. Outside, 2-0. Elijah Praska is the batter, playing at third base. He was a starting pitcher. He's 0 for 1. He flew out to left field his first time up. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike one. Here's a 2-1. Fastball laced into shallow center field. That's down for a hit. 1 run is in. And Ronsberg is going to stop at third base. Throw down to third base is wide of the third baseman. Another run's going to score on another error by the Vikings. RBI single for Praska. That scores Coughlin. Ronsberg, courtesy running for the catcher, will score E3. Praska does move down to second base on the same error. That'll bring up Joey Mayhews. And here's a pitch. Fastball, swing and a foul tip at the plate. Now here's the set and the pitch. Fastball, swinging a ground ball over towards second base. Schliemann has it, fires on the first base in time for the out. And it's a 4-3 putout. Vikings get out of the inning, but not before Valley City puts up 4 runs. 3 errors committed by the Vikings. They did pound out a couple of hits. So at the end of 2.5, it's a 7-5 lead for the Vikings. They're coming to bat in the bottom of the third on yourliveevent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
We head to the bottom of the third inning. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Vikings. Eli Mack, Jacob Lindemann, and Jackson Schliemann.
The bottom of the third, number 24, right fielder, Eli Mack.
Couple of errors costly for the Vikings in the top of the third inning as Valley City puts up 4 runs. Eli Mack, the batter, takes a ball up and in. It looked like it hit him.
Did that not hit?
Yeah, I could have swore it did, and he even acted like it hit him, and then umpire didn't do anything. Eli didn't say anything. Ball 1, I guess. 2 balls and no strikes. It appeared to me that the ball hit him, but it obviously didn't.
It must have bounced off the glove.
Yeah. 2-0 the count. Eli Mack is 1 for 1 with a big 2-run triple back in the first. Hit it hard out to left center. Takes this one up and in. 3-0 the count. Number 7, Keegan Cleveguard. Relief pitcher came on for the starter Praska. Here's a 3-0 pitch, fastball. He walked him. That'll bring up Jacob Lindemann. He walked his first time up, so no official at bat. I think it's a little early to start bunting the ball around. I think, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes here.
Yeah, and I mean, especially with the way that they have been hitting so far, you kind of hate to stop them from doing that.
Here's a pitch to Lindemann, ground ball. This could be 2 up the middle. The shortstop fields it, throws on to first base. It's not going to be in time. Second baseman kind of got in his way as the shortstop, Coughlin, fielded the ball kind of wide of second, ran over, got the force out, then threw on to first base, but not in time. So Lindemann reaches on the fielder's choice. Eli Mack is out 6 unassisted for the first out. And back to the top of the order in Jackson Schliemann. Here's a set, here's a pitch, fastball up, ball 1. Schliemann singled in the first inning, came around to score, and he walked in that same inning, but was stranded at first base. Lindemann has some speed. Here's a pitch, it's upstairs. 2-0. A lot of speed up and down this lineup, but again, Ty Cordy has done a great job catching for the Valley City Kings. Here's a pitch. This one's in the dirt. Nice block, again by Cordy. Right on cue. Start talking about how nice of a job he's doing back there, and another nice block.
It's the opposite of the announcer's jinx right there.
3-0 the count to Jackson Schliemann, and he takes a strike. Three and 1 the count, and the pitch. Inside, he walked him. Runners on first and second with 1 out. Brings up Carter Grunwald. He walked, stole a base, and scored a run in the first inning. Also in the first inning, he flew out to left. Little mound visit. Coach Cameron Pitts out to talk to his pitcher. I wrote down that Jackson Schliemann singled, but he walked for the second time in the ballgame. Carter Grunwald comes to the plate. So once again, I don't know if you've watched the series Ted Lasso.
I have not.
Okay, well, in that they talk about goldfish, and they don't have very good memories. You know, the Vikings went up and threw up a couple of errors. Well, it's important to get back out in the field or get back in the dugout, score some runs, and then when you get back out in the field, have that short memory. That happened last inning. You got to go out there and field the baseball and play your game.
Try to just immediately snag that momentum back.
Looks like we're going to have a pitching change here, so we'll try to figure out what's going on here. So we'll take a break and figure out the defensive changes for Valley City, and we'll be back after this on yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
So we have some defensive changes here. Number 5, Hudson Krewald was at first base. He comes in to pitch. The left fielder, Lucas Keatsman, exits the ball game, and number 50, Amari Ronsberg, comes in for him. He'll play first base. Keegan Cleveguard was pitching, and he's now in left field. Not sure who's out in right now. Here's the set, and here's the pitch from the right-hander, swinging a high pop fly. This could be playable down the first base line. And I don't know, landed somewhere. It's foul, it's out of play. Strike one. Carter Grunwald is the batter. So we have a pitching change. Number 5, Hudson Krewald. And it's an 0-1 count to Carter Grunwald. Here's the pitch. Fastball down low. Runners on first and second. There's one out. 7-5 lead for the Kindred Vikings. Bottom of the third. I'm Mike Bernier. Greg Kramer joining us tonight. Bringing you baseball on yourliveevent.com. A lot of fun. As always, good night for baseball. Here's a pitch. It's outside. 2 balls and a strike. Here's a 2-1 pitch. And it hit him. Hit Carter Grunwald in the foot. So that'll load up the bases. And again, that brings up Isaac Johnson. Isaac Johnson, the designated hitter, living up to his name, his position title. He's got a couple of hits, 2 at-bats, 2 runs scored, 2 hits, 2 runs batted in. A lot of 2s.
It's a lot of 2s, a lot of good.
He's got a stolen base as well. Swinging a little ground ball over towards the third baseman and past him. That's going to score at least 1 run. Lindemann scores. Here comes Schliemann. He'll score. I assume that's an error. Either way, the Vikings will take it. It'll be E5. Isaac Johnson will get a run batted in. So I think Lindemann would have scored anyway. Jackson Schliemann comes across the score as well. Carter Grunwald up to second base. And just like that, Vikings jump on 2 more runs, and it's a 9-5 game. Here's Trayton Teberg, takes a big old hack, strike 1. Trayton Teberg gone down looking and walked. So 0 for 1 officially. Here's the 0-1 set, and the pitch. Fastball popped foul, strike 2. Also at the end of this game, during the Todd Wold CPA postgame show, we'll have the player of the game. Brought to you by Enbridge. Life takes energy. Enbridge. Energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. We'll pick that player of the game. And if a Viking player gets that player of the game, we'll have an interview for you. Here's a line drive. Base hit up the middle. Grunwald is being held up there. And it's cut off in the infield. Trayton Teberg with a solid single into center field. And again, Trayton Teberg has tremendous power. I wouldn't want to be on the receiving end of one of his line drives if you're playing in or something like that. That'll bring up Teague Erdman. He's 1 for 2. Had an RBI single in the first inning, scored a run, reach on the fielder's choice in the second. 9-5 lead, bases loaded, 1 out.
They do have the corners playing in here.
Yep, first and third playing in. They're conceding, well, trying for the double play up the middle.
Yep.
Shortstop and second base. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Swing and a line drive. Caught by the second baseman. They're going to double him up. And nothing Isaac Johnson could have done there. It was just a hard hit baseball. You got to get your secondary lead, and he gets doubled up on the line drive double play. And that ends the third inning, but the Vikings do come up with a couple of runs, lead it by a score of 9-5, heading into the top of the fourth on yourliveevent.com.
Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
We head to the top of the fourth inning. Valley City coming to bat. They'll have the 8, 9, and 1 hitters, Zane Werzer, Amari Ronsberg, and Cole Bollinger. Sam Bernier's still on the mound for the Vikings. He's thrown 43 pitches. First pitch of this inning is a swing and a miss, strike 1. Must have been fooled on that pitch. Kind of took a awkward defensive swing on that pitch. Must have fooled him with a breaking ball or something. Here's a fastball off the plate. 1 ball and 1 strike. 9-5 lead for the Kindred Vikings. Top of the fourth inning. Game 1 of a doubleheader tonight. Game 1 is a counter. We'll bring you the second game as well. It's a 5-inning affair. Swing and a foul chop at the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Fastball down low. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Now, Mike, when they do a second game that's 5 innings, are we going to see almost like entirely new lineup, or is it going to be similar?
Yeah, you have quite a few reserves in this game, so they'll all see some action hopefully. And
sure.
But you're going to have to play some of the starters as well. Here's a ground ball over to third, throw across the diamond to Teberg. He's there for the out, and it's a 5-3 putout.
Brings up first baseman number 50, Amari Ronsberg.
Amari Ronsberg gets his first plate appearance of the night. He came in to play first base last inning during a pitching change. And here's a set and the delivery by Bernier. It's down low, 1 ball. We have 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Valley City. Kindred with 9 runs, 7 hits, and 3 errors. Here's a pitch, swinging a foul ball over the first base dugout / press box. Amari Ronsberg is batting for Keatsman, who reached on an error. Here's a ground ball over to T-Berg. He'll touch first base, and quickly there's 2 outs. 2 down. Back to the top of the order, Cole Bullinger will step to the plate. He singled and stole a base, scored a run, reached on an error by the center fielder and scored a run. Now that one could be debated. There was a runner on first base, but he was only about 30 feet away from second base.
Yeah.
And the throw came in, and it just wasn't knocked down. And it looked to us in the press box that it was a routine play, and it should have been an out.
Yeah.
Here's the pitch. A 1-0 pitch is fouled over on the first base side. T-Berg comes over and makes a catch in foul territory in a very quick inning for Sam Bernier. I believe he threw maybe 12 pitches that inning, and he works out of it.
I think he threw 10 pitches. I'm pretty sure he started with 43.
I think you're right. So 10 pitches, and we get a 1-2-3 inning, and we head to the bottom of the 4th inning. Vikings lead it by a score of 9-5 on yourliveevent.com.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
We head to the bottom of the 4th inning, 9-5 lead for the Kindred Vikings. I'm Mike Bernier along with Greg Kramer bringing you Babe Ruth baseball. Valley City Kings are in town, taking on the Kindred Vikings on yourliveevent.com. Thanks to our sponsors. This is such a wonderful service, eh, Greg?
It really is. It's a fun thing to have. We never had this when I was playing ball, but it's one of those things where you can kind of stay in touch with the community a lot easier than having to come out to the town to watch the games, and it's fun to stay connected.
We have that Game Changer app, and we could watch some video on that and keep up with the stats. But if you can watch Game Changer, look for the stats, and also watch us on yourliveevent.com and bring you the game. And good community partnership that we have with yourliveevent.com and our sponsors bringing this to you. Sure, a lot of fun. Jack Savageau out the plate. He's got a 1-ball count. Krewald with the pitch. It's in there for a strike. Savageau's 1 for 2. He singled and scored a run. Had a stolen base in there as well. Grounded out to third. Back in the 3rd inning. Here's a foul ball out of play. So my pencils that I had up here, I didn't have a pencil sharpener at home. I couldn't find one. So I thought I'd stop into Express Lane. I'm like, what are the odds that they have a pencil sharpener in Express Lane at a convenience store? They did not, but they had the finest mechanical pencils that they sell at Express Lane.
I almost feel like you'd be hard-pressed to find a pencil sharpener anywhere these days.
You're right about that. I did not find one there. But I did find some mechanical pencils, and it's working out pretty well for me. Here's a little ground ball on the left side. That's going to sneak through for a base hit. Savageau has his 2nd hit of the ball game. That'll bring up Alex Iverson. He struck out and walked.
Number 11, Alex Iverson.
8th hit for the Vikings.
There's a big development in Kindred right now. I see the flag moving. There is air movement right now. It's happening. It's not just dead out there anymore.
Here's a pitch, swing and a foul ball for Alex Iverson, strike one. Hudson Krewald, the third pitcher for the Kings, throws this one outside. 2 balls and a strike, or 1 ball and a strike. I think it's a 1-1. I think I'll just revert to Eric Iverson. He's usually right, or always right. 1-1 the count.
We'll go with usually.
Here's a 1-1 pitch, swinging a high pop fly. It's in the infield, right side of the infield. Second baseman Bullinger comes on and makes a catch calmly. And there's 1 down. Eli Mack steps to the plate. He's had a good night at the plate. A big 2-run triple back in the first. That gave them a 5-0 lead at the time. He eventually scored, and he's also walked. Playing in right field tonight. Here's a set. Here's a pitch. Swing and a line drive. Oh, off the tip of the glove. Let's see if he can get safe at second base, and he is safe. It's going to be a base hit. Base hit for Mack. Savageau's kind of in a tough spot there because it's off the second baseman's glove. You can't start running down to second base because if that second baseman snares it, you're doubled up easily at first base. Tips off his glove, and once you realize that it's down, you got to sprint over to second base, and thankfully he made it in there safely for the Vikings.
Yeah, he did a nice job of getting there, and it's probably hard to tell on the camera, but that was definitely the right call. He definitely beat that out.
Jake Lindemann steps to the plate. He's walked and reached on the fielder's choice. Now he grounds one to the left side. Shortstop to second for 1. And for the second time tonight, Lindemann reaches on a fielder's choice. Mack is out at second base, 6-4 for the second out. Savageau does reach third base. Runners on first and third. Back to the top of the order, Jackson Schliemann. I keep talking about how solid of a hitter Jackson Schliemann is after his solid single in the first inning, but since then he's walked a couple of times. Has runners aboard, trying to extend this lead. Here's a set. And the pitch. Fastball swing and a line drive. Base hit into left field. That'll score a run. And it's a 10-5 ball game. Man, you put that run up there quick. Before the ball landed, I think you had the run up there. Up on the scoreboard as well. Savageau comes across the score. Lindemann stops at second. RBI single for Jackson Schliemann. That'll bring up Carter Grunwald. He's walked, flew out to left, and got hit by a pitch. Takes strike 1 from the third pitcher for the Kings, Krewald. Krewald started at first base. He's now the pitcher. Here's a pitch. Inside, 1-1 the count. 10-5 lead for the Vikings. Bottom of the fourth. Couple runners on, 2 outs. Yeah, there's a slight breeze. The flag goes flying up every now and then, but it's now the wind's blowing out to right. Kind of weird how the weather can change. There's no wind, then there's wind, and then there's no wind. Blowing out pretty solid to right field now. See if Grunwald can get one up in the air to right center. Here's a pitch. Outside. 3 balls and a strike.
I feel like days like this almost always result in stormy nights. Is that kind of in the forecast for the night?
Yeah, I haven't looked, but yeah, it kind of has that feel, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Here's the 3-1 pitch. It's outside. He walked him. Grunwald is aboard. That loads the bases. Schliemann up to second. Lindemann over to third.
My guess is Johnson is probably looking to tattoo this one.
Johnson's had a nice job at the plate.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we gave him an error because he ripped one down the line, but the third baseman kind of laid it down there, so we decided that was an error up here. So he's 2 for 3, 2-run single, run scored, single, run scored, and it hit him. And he drives in a run anyway. That's his 4th run batted in of the night. Gets it the hard way by getting clocked with the pitch. But Lindemann will come across the score, and it's 11-5 in favor of the Vikings. And that brings up first baseman Trayton Teberg. Struck out, walked, and hit a laser up the middle for a hit. 1-2. Swinging a hard chopper over to third. Praska's got it, throws across the diamond. That's not in time. That's an infield single. So the Vikings catch a break. It looked like Praska kind of hesitated a touch, and that was enough. Teberg hustling all the way down the line, and he's going to get rewarded with an infield RBI single as Schliemann comes across to score his third run of the game.
It almost looked like Praska was considering tagging the runner coming at him, and just it messed with him a little bit.
Here's a pitch to Teberg. It's in the dirt. Grunwald's coming across, and he'll score. That's a wild pitch. Runners move up. Isaac Johnson over to third. Teberg up to second base. Teague Erdman batting. Teague has an RBI single, reach on a fielder's choice, and he ended the third inning with a line drive double play. Just a hot shot at the second baseman. Unfortunately for Teague, found the glove of the second baseman. In there for a strike, 1-1 the count. Vikings batted around here again. They batted around in the first inning, sending 11 men to the plate. Line drive, base hit into left field. That'll score at least one run. Another is being waved home. Throw to the plate will be cut off by the pitcher. Big two-run single for Teague Erdman. Isaac Johnson scores his third run. Trayton Teberg comes across the score. Two-run single, 3 RBIs for Teague Erdman on the night. Now we might have another pitching change. Vikings on top by a score of 15-5. There is a 10-run rule in effect, but it's only after 5 innings. So we're only in the bottom of the fourth. Second time tonight that the Vikings have put up 6 runs in an inning. They've scored in every inning. 6 in the first, 1 in the second, 2 in the third, now 6 here in the fourth, and they're still batting. Valley City put up 1 run in the first and 4 in the third. And it's a 15-5 lead for the Kindred Vikings. No pitching change. Coach Cameron Pitts out to just talk to his pitcher, calm his infield down. He's only 1 out away from getting out of this inning. Vikings will send their 10th man to the plate. Jack Savageau led off this inning with a single to left, came across to score, getting a second plate appearance this inning. Here's a set and the pitch. Fastball swinging laced into right field, down for a hit. Erdman is going to run across second base, and he's going to scamper over to third. And the ball is cut off. Savageau has the second hit of the inning. Erdman gets all the way to third base. That brings up Alex Iverson. Ivor has struck out looking, walked, and popped out to second. Looking to tattoo the ball. 13 hits now for the Vikings. Savageau has his third hit of the ball game. Here's a pitch, little ground ball foul. Nick Eggman with another chance, another throw, and everything looks good. 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Valley City. Kindred Vikings, 15 runs, 13 hits, 3 errors. Here's a pitch, swinging a line drive, base hit, left field. That scores 1 run. Savageau working on getting to third base. Here's the throw. It's not in time. Iverson moves up to second base on the throw. So it's an RBI single. Savageau gets third base. Erdman comes across to score. Iverson moves up to second base on the throw. And to see if we have a courtesy runner. And yeah, we got a timeout. Jager Jordheim will come in to courtesy run for the catcher.
Well, these Vikings have proven you right twice in full effect of the no easy outs up and down the lineup. I mean, goodness gracious. Every guy that goes up there, you just expect him to get a hit right now.
Here's Eli Mack. He's 2 for 2. 2-run triple, a walk, and a single. Takes the first pitch for a strike. So this is his second at-bat this inning as well. So this is the 12th man to bat this inning. 0-1, swing and a fouls. And so for Alex Iverson, he had made the first out in this fourth inning, and it was possible that he made the third out, but what does he do? Instead of doing that, didn't want to be that guy. He laces an RBI single into left. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Fastball, swing and a foul. Jack Savageau has 2 hits this inning. Eli Mack has a chance to do the same. He singled earlier this inning. 12th man to bat this inning. 7 runs put up. It's a 16-5 lead. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. There are 2 down. Runners on second and third. Savageau over at third. Jagger Jordheim courtesy running over at second base. Here's the set. And the pitch. Off speed is away. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here's a 2-2 set from Krewald. Here's the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball, swinging a line drive. Shallow right. That's going to fall down for a hit. That's going to score a couple more runs. And Eli Mack has 4 runs driven in. He's 3 for 3. Gets his second hit of the inning. A 2-run single. And again, he's batting in the 8th hole. So no relief in sight for any of the pitchers for Valley City. We just got solid hitters up and down this lineup. Here we got Jake Lindeman. He is 0 for 2, but he scored a couple of runs. He's reached on a fielder's choice twice. He did walk in the first inning. Here's the pitch. Fastball is away. Ball 1. 18-5 lead for the Vikings. So for the Vikings, I assume Sam Bernier is going to come out and pitch the 5th inning. He's just got to shut him down. Can't allow, at this time, 4 runs. Here's a ground ball out to short. And again, Lindeman will reach first base on the fielder's choice. For the 3rd time tonight, that does end the inning. But a lot of runs. 9 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. They lead it by a score of 18-5 on yourliveevent.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
We head to the top of the 5th inning. Kindred Vikings lead it by a score of 18-5. It's 5 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for Valley City. Kindred Vikings on top by a score of 18-5. They have 18 runs, 15 hits, and 3 errors. During the Todd Wold CPA postgame show, we'll bring you the Enbridge Player of the Game. We'll also bring you Connection of the Match by HTC, I'm sorry. Sam Bernier back out on the mound trying to close this one down. Here's a little pop-up foul. T-Bird gives a look, but way far away. That batting against Sam Bernier and the Vikings will be the 2-3-4 hitters, Chase Coughlin, Ty Cordy, and Hudson Krewald. Chase Coughlin is 1 for 2. He struck out and had an RBI double, later came around to score. Here's the 0-1 pitch, a little grounder out to short. Grunwald charges again, throws on the run, and it's up the line. Going to call it an infield single. Coughlin is aboard with the second hit of the ball game. Ty Cordy comes to the plate. He hasn't been set down. He has an RBI single, and he was hit by a pitch and scored a run. The ball hit the runner, was a tough play for Grunwald. He had to charge that and kind of throw on the run, so that's why we're going to give it an infield single. It was certainly not a routine play. Coughlin hustling down the line the whole way, so he's going to get rewarded with a single. He'll say his knee hurts a lot because it looked like the ball hit him right in the shin, knee area. And that's smarts. Again, we'll have the connection of the match brought to you by HDC. Discover local reliability you can trust. Hallstead Telephone. It's how to connect. HallsteadTel.com. That's Hallstead, HALSTADTEL.com. We'll have the connection of the match, and we'll also have the Enbridge Player of the Game following this.
Now, Mike, I got to ask, have you been keeping up with the College World Series at all?
Not really, not especially. I've been watching some games here and there, you know, but quite frankly, I'm never home, so I don't get a chance to watch it that much. We're going to have a pinch runner for Coughlin. Number 9, it's Cooper Anderson will come in to run for Valley City. And there's no point in this game. That's a 13-run deficit. Coughlin got hit with a baseball in the knee. Yeah. Let's get him in the dugout, get him some ice, and move on. So Cooper Anderson is going to get some playing time. He'll come on to run. Nobody out. Runner on first base. Ty Cordy, the batter. Ty Cordy's done a fabulous job of being the catcher in today's ball game. Here's a pitch. It's in the dirt. Wild pitch. And Cooper Anderson moves down to second base. (18-5) lead. There is a 10-run rule after 5. So the Vikings can't give up the 4 runs if they want to keep that. Here's a foul ball. Caught the umpire, it looks like, and wisely, like an old veteran, Alex Iverson's going to walk the ball out to his pitcher. Give the umpire, Gareth Hansen, a little time to kind of recover from that. It never feels good to take a ball right between the eyes and the mask and anywhere on the body for that matter. Eric Iverson playing Hit Me With Your Best Shot. We're talking about ice cream before, and Gareth Anderson came over and said to knock it off. Quit talking about ice cream. He's hot down there.
It's just all jokes and Kindred.
Here's the 0-1 pitch. It's a foul ball. Long run for T. Girdman. He won't be able to get there. That's kind of a no man's land. All 3 players, left fielder, shortstop, third baseman, giving chase, but long ways away from everybody. No chance to get that one. 1-2 the count. Ty Cordy at the plate. Hudson Krewald is on deck. Sam Bernier on the mound, throwing to his catcher, Alex Iverson. Longtime teammates. I know they're only 15 years old, but they've been playing together a long time. Here's a fly ball into right, caught by the right fielder, Eli Mack, and there's one away.
Flies out to right fielder Mack for the first out in the inning. Brings up pitcher number 5, Hudson Krewald.
Hudson Krewald steps up. He's 0 for 2. He grounded out to short, flew out to center. Here's a pitch. Swing and a little ground ball, chopped up the third base line. Erdman, the tough play. What are we going to call that? Infield single. Couple of little bleeders, but nobody made an error on either play. You know, it's a tough error for Grunwald. It's a very tough error for T. Girdman, so we're going to give him infield singles. Neither ball hit particularly hard.
No, I don't disagree with that at all.
Keegan Cleveguard steps up. He's now playing left field. First pitch is a ball. There is one out. Runners on first and second base. And the pitch, fastball, swing and a miss. Cleveguard looked like he was behind that one a hair. 62 pitches thrown by Sam. The limit at the Babe Ruth level is 95. Nowhere near coming to that. 2-1 the count. And here's a 2-1. Wow.
Good shot, Sam. Good shot, Sam.
Missed. Ball 3.
Looked okay. I mean, it's tough for us to tell, but it looked okay.
Yeah, it's very difficult to tell balls and strikes if it's inside, outside. I can't tell. Here's a pitch, swinging a hard ground ball out to short, fielded by Grunwald, flips to second baseman Schliemann. He throws down to first, knocked down by T-Berg.
It's a nice play.
Nice play to get that out.
Yeah.
Both by Grunwald and by Schliemann. And for Schliemann to even get a play over at first base and to make it somewhat close was impressive as well. But they do record the out at second base. Cleveguard reaches on the fielder's choice. Krewald is out 6-4 for the second out of the inning. Cooper does make it down, or Cooper Anderson, I'm sorry, does make it down to third base. 2 down. Now batting Elijah Praska. He's 1 for 2. Here's a high fly ball into center field, and that's a ball game. Jack Savageau runs it down out in right center field, and the Kindred Vikings win this counter game by a score of 18-5. The Vikings putting up 18 runs and winning this one by a score of 18-5. We'll come back with the Todd Wold CPA postgame show after this on YourLiveEvent.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
And we're back on the Todd Wold CPA post-game show for any accounting requisitions from income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals or businesses. Go online to wold-cpa.com. Well, Greg, again, I'm Mike Bernier along with Greg Kramer bringing you Babe Ruth baseball on yourliveevent.com. Kindred Vikings just flat out hit the ball today and had an explosive offense and came away with a victory.
They sure did. And I am... unfortunately, to let my bias show, that was a heck of a game to watch. I mean, all the bats were hot, and we gave up the 5 runs, but Sam pitched a really nice, clean game. There's a few things to clean up defensively, but I mean, he pitched a really nice game, threw a lot of strikes, and you see an 18-5 outcome as a former Kindred Viking. That's not much more you can ask for.
So Sam Bernier on the mound for the first time this year in Babe Ruth baseball. Does go 5 innings, allows 6 hits, 5 runs, only 1 earned. Didn't walk anybody. Struck out 3 batters. He did hit a batter through a total of 66 pitches, so he picks up the win. On the mound for Valley City, Elijah Praska started. He went 2/3 of an inning, allowed 5 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 3 and struck out 2. And I'm looking for, it's Keegan Cleveguard.
Yep.
He pitched 1 2/3 innings, allowed 3 hits, 3 runs, all earned, walked 4, didn't strike anybody out. And then Hudson Krewald went an inning and 2/3, allowed 10 hits, 9 runs, all earned, walked 1, and struck out nobody. I think Krewald, unfortunately, with the big lead, he had to go up there and kind of suck it up a little bit and suck up some innings. So Praska will take the loss. San Bernardino picks up the win, complete game win on the 10-run rule by a score of 18-5. Do the Vikings win? Offensively, let's talk about the Vikings for a little bit.
A lot to talk about.
Yeah, there's everybody. It looks like everybody contributed in this game. Everybody in the lineup either scored a run or drove in a run. In most cases, both.
Yep.
Jackson Schliemann was a leadoff hitter. 2 at-bats, 3 runs scored, 2 hits, and an RBI, a couple of walks. Tyler Grunwald was 0 for 1, but he walked a couple of times, got hit with a pitch, scored a couple of runs. Derek Stone came out of the ball game, and Isaac Johnson came in for him and went 2 for 3 with 3 runs scored and drove in 4 runs. 3 runs, actually. No, that's right, 4 runs. Trayton Teberg went 2 for 3 with a run scored and a run batted in. Teague Erdman, 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, 3 runs batted in. Jack Savageau, 3 for 4, 3 runs scored. So a lot of good offensive numbers. Alex Iverson, 1 for 3 with a run batted in. Eli Mack, 3 for 3 with a run scored, 4 runs batted in. And Jake Lindemann, 1 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Offensively for Valley City, Cole Bollinger was 2 for 3 with a couple of runs scored. Chase Coughlin was 1 for 3 with a run batted in and a run scored. Otherwise, Ty Cordy had a base hit. Elijah Praska had an RBI single. And I believe it was Lucas Keatsman. Well, he didn't have a hit. He reached on an error. At the end of the game, the Vikings win it by a score of 18-5. We're going to take a quick break and come back with our player of the game, brought to you by Enbridge. We'll be back after this on yourliveevent.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
And welcome back. We have the Todd Wold CPA postgame show, and now it's time for the Enbridge Player of the Game. Enbridge, life takes energy. Enbridge, energy for life. Enbridge.com for career opportunities. And we have our Player of the Game. It's none other than Eli Mack. Eli Mack, you went 3 for 3 tonight. How did it feel to come on out in the heat here on a beautiful night in Kindred and come away with a victory?
It felt good. Just to come out here and get another win, and got a lot more games this week. So
have you ever played the outfield before?
First time.
First time in the outfield in your baseball career.
Yep.
And you started out in right field. It looked like you're old school out there. You calmly caught a couple of fly balls or a fly ball out there calmly and threw it back into the infield. Looked like you're a natural out there. Did it feel all right?
Yeah, it felt good.
Oh, was it a little awkward?
Yeah, a little bit, but it felt good, yeah.
Yeah, first time not being in the infield in a baseball game. I remember in Little League, you'd play shortstop as a left-hander. You know, one of the better arms on the team, and you're playing shortstop, throwing left-handed, but it worked for you. In this game, you're the Enbridge Player of the Game, and the reason for that, in that first inning, Kindred Vikings found themselves up by a score of 3-0, and it felt like it was getting away from Valley City, but we just didn't have that big hit. Greg and I kind of mentioned it on the broadcast. We say that we're just missing that one big hit to kind of put this game away a little bit. On cue, you came up and roped a 2-run triple into left center field. How did that feel coming off the bat?
It felt perfect. Just to hit it out there and give our pitcher a lot of confidence going out there with a bigger lead.
Bigger lead, and so on the game, you also added a 2-run single late in the ball game. On the day, you were 3 for 3, runs scored, 4 runs batted in, added a walk to that. Pretty good day at the plate. Did it feel pretty good?
Yep, felt good.
And we mentioned this on the broadcast as well. Up and down this lineup, you weren't hitting third, you weren't hitting fourth. You were the 8th batter in the lineup, and you drove in 4 runs and go 3 for 3. Up and down this lineup, everybody can hit.
Yeah, we have a lot of good hitters that can, basically whoever's at the plate can get us runs, so that's pretty good to have.
Yeah, a big offensive explosion, and so again, the Enbridge player of the game is Eli Mack, and we'll take another break, and we'll come back with more of the Todd Wold CPA postgame show. Thanks, Eli. Great game.
Yep, thank you.
Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the 3-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. 3, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ. 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
All right, we're back. It's time for the connection of the match, brought to you by HTC. Discover local reliability you can trust. Hallstead Telephone. It's how to connect. HallsteadTel.com. That's HALSTADTEL.com. HallsteadTel.com. The connection of the match, we up here in the press box. Isaac Johnson wasn't in the starting lineup, but he promptly comes on in the first inning, pinch hitting for Derek Stone, who was injured, we believe, and we'll check on Derek and get you word back on that. But in the bottom of the first inning, Isaac Johnson steps up, ropes a 2-run single, and later comes across the score. He steals a base. Later in the second inning, he would lead off with another single, come across the score. Reached on an error, but drove in a run, so he was 2 for 3. He was later hit by a pitch and drove in a run and scored another run.
And, you know, honestly, in that situation, what would be really easy to do is to kind of just let yourself have mentally checked out and not really approach the plate with any sort of tenacity and just kind of feel like, oh, I'll get in there. Like it's 86 degrees outside. I'll kind of see what happens. But absolutely not the approach that was taken at the plate. There was a lot of aggression, and he was looking to drive in runs, and guess what he did? He drove in runs.
And he could hit the ball, so he's your connection of the match, brought to you by HTC. We'll bring you the second game of the doubleheader. We're going to take a short break here. They are exchanging the lineup, so it won't be that long of a break for us.
Sure.
And we'll bring you the 5-inning game. It's a non-counter, but you know what? We're here, we're set up, we're going to bring you that game, and we're having lots of fun up here in the press box. So let's take a small break, and we'll come back with that second game of the doubleheader on yourliveevent.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Express Lane Marathon in Kindred is your neighborhood convenience store where convenience meets quality, whether you're fueling up with Marathon's top-tier fuel or grabbing a quick snack. Express Lane has you covered. From hot stuff pizza, smash hit subs, premium soft-serve ice cream, gas, diesel, and propane exchange. Make sure to use your Marathon app and get 7 cents back per gallon all summer long. Now offering premium 91 non-ethanol fuel. Express Lane is your friendly and locally owned convenience store.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Make your stop before or after the game at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. Stop out throughout the week for mouth-watering lunch specials weekdays and mark Friday nights down on the calendar for prime rib, ribeye steak, or some walleye at the Knickerbocker. For more information or to find out about daily specials, give the Knickerbocker a like on Facebook by searching the Knickerbocker. Great food and good people. You can find it all at the Knickerbocker in Hickson, North Dakota. For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.
For trusted news, weather, and sports from your community, look to R&J Broadcasting Incorporated, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Hear local voices from local radio with news and information from the area. Your information stations, KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ Radio, and rjbroadcasting.com. Local voices from local radio.
Buying, selling, or leasing commercial real estate or farmland in the Fargo-Moorhead and surrounding area? From office to retail, industrial to multifamily, commercial land to farmland. As the #1 commercial, sales, and leasing brokerage in the FM region, Goldmark Commercial has the experience and skills to handle all of your commercial real estate and farmland needs with the highest levels of customer service and marketing around. Trust the experts at Goldmark Commercial Real Estate to lead your team to success.
And we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Kindred Vikings win the first counter game by a score of 18-5. We'll bring you the 5-inning affair here in Kindred at Kindred Varsity Field. Here's a battery for the Kindred Vikings. On the mound will be number 16, Bristol Swanson. He'll throw to his catcher, Briar Gibbon. Trying to go through the lineup for Valley City. It'll be Cole Bollinger leading it off. He's playing at shortstop in the game tonight, and we're ready to go. Bristol Swanson kicks and fires in there for a strike. Cole Bollinger, followed by Hudson Krewald, the center fielder, and Ty Cordy to bat in the top of the first inning. Just getting going. 5-inning affair. Here's a hard ground ball up the middle. Base hit. Single up the middle for Bollinger. And quickly, Valley City has a runner aboard. That'll bring up Hudson Krewald. Hudson Krewald playing in center field in this ball game. Here's a pitch from Bristol Swanson over for a strike. Around the horn defensively, T-Berg's over at first, Sam Bernier at second base. Beckett Westby at short. Over at third base is Isaac Johnson. Here's a pitch, runner goes, throw down to second base. Not in time, cut off by Bernier, but to no avail, stolen base for Bollinger. And here's a pitch from Swanson, swing and a miss to Hudson Krewald. Count is 1-2. Runner on second base. Nobody out. Bristol Swanson out of the stretch. Gets his sign, kicks and fires. A little pop-up behind second base. Bernier giving chase. Outfielder comes on and makes the catch out in right field. Who is that young man out there? That's Jacob Lindemann.
Wow.
Nice long run, diving catch for the first out. Big out. No runners advance, so runner still on second base. And here's the set and the delivery from Swanson. Pitches down, runner goes, throw down to second base, won't be in time. Blocked nicely by Isaac Johnson. It's another stolen base for Bollinger. Ty Cordy, the batter. He's catching this game as well. Caught a lot of pitches in that first game and did a great job behind the plate. I thought Ty Cordy played a nice baseball game. He'll get a chance to hit here. 1-0 count is up high, 2 balls, no strikes. Swanson throwing out of the stretch. Has an out, has a runner on third. High fly ball, shallow right field again. A little easier play for Lindemann. He'll run it down. Throw to the plate. There's going to be a play. Briar Gibbon had it in his glove and was a little bit of a hurry to go try to make the tag. It was a great throw. Nice throw from Lindemann out in right field. 2 nice running catches for the outs. This one will be a sacrifice fly to right field. Cordy will get himself an RBI. It is a second out. Bollinger comes across the score, and it's 1-0 in favor of Valley City.
It's a really nice throw home.
It's a nice throw to the plate, and like I said, Briar Gibbon had it in his glove, but he was a little antsy to try to go make that tag because he was going to have to run. The throw was up the first baseline a hair, and he had to kind of run back and go make the tag. And kind of started running before he caught the ball, kind of like your wide receiver over the middle, worried about a linebacker taking you out, right?
Yeah.
Elijah Praska is a batter. He's got a 2-0 count. He started the first game on the mound. Here's a 2-0 pitch. It's in there for a strike. I'm still trying to pencil in the lineup for Valley City because I can't read the handwriting. I got like the 8th copy in the multi-copy form. Swing and a miss. Strike 2, so I could barely read it. But I'm figuring it out. I'm getting there.
It was a little expedited starting game, too.
Yeah.
As I look out to the west, there's definitely some.
Yeah, they wanted to get the game in. You know, it's a little weather possibly moving in. This is a pop-up right towards Greg.
Wow.
Trey Teberg made the catch over here. I saw it hit his glove, and then it sounded like he kind of slipped and slid on the on the sidewalk down here in front of the dugout.
Yeah.
But Trayton caught the ball. Nice play.
It's a heck of a play.
In foul territory. A pop foul to the first baseman for the 3rd out of the inning. Valley City does come up with a run, and they lead it by a score of 1-0 with the Vikings coming to bat on yourliveevent.com.
Green Earth Landscaping offers a full range of services, including commercial and residential landscape design and installation, maintenance and sprinkler services. From outdoor kitchens to patios, retaining walls, lighting, fine grade, sod and hydroseed, and anything in between, Green Earth Landscaping has you covered, servicing the Fargo-Moorhead area and beyond. For more information, go online to greenearthnd.com. That's greenearthnd.com.
Halstead Telephone Company delivers fast broadband internet, telephone, and cable TV to residents in this region, including Halstead, Shelley, Neilsville, Climax, Fisher, Bigland, Gentilly in Minnesota, and Hillsborough, Caledonia, Gardner, and Argosville, North Dakota. Serving the area residents since 1904, Halstead Telephone continues to create a bright future for this region using 100% fiber optic technology. Service plans offer flexibility and choices, and there's local support personnel ready to help. Contact Halstead Telephone Company today.
And we're back. Kindred Vikings, Babe Ruth on yourliveevent.com. Valley City, the Kings are in town. Vikings won the first game. It was a counter by a score of 18-5. Vikings get that win. We're trying to get this 5-inning affair into this ball game. There does look like a little bit of weather moving this way. Looking at the radar, sounds like we got some time to try to get some innings in. A lot of baseball for this Babe Ruth team.
Yeah.
It's Thursday. Tomorrow night they have a doubleheader in Castleton. And then on Saturday they also have a doubleheader versus Park River. We'll have that game. It's here in Kindred. We'll have that game on yourliveevent.com. So 6 games in 3 days for this Babe Ruth club.
It's a lot of baseball.
Here's a pitch. Jagger Jordheim to bat, getting his first plate appearance anyway. He did courtesy run for the catcher in the first game. Jagger Jordheim playing in left field. Where's number 18, left-handed hitter? Has his hands up properly. Takes a check swing. It's a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike. It'll be Jagger Jordheim, Beckett Westby at short, Bristol Swanson the pitcher, Isaac Johnson the third baseman, Anders Huseman out in center field batting 5th. Here's a pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Briar Gibbon will bat 6th and catch. Sam Bernier's out at second base batting 7th. Jake Lindemann doing a fine job already out in right field batting 8th. Trey Teberg batting 9th playing first base. We'll have an extra hitter in Alex Iverson batting 10th. Coach Nick Eggman trying to get some different players mixed into this ball game, getting them some at-bats, keeping them fresh. A lot of baseball to be played in the next couple of days. Here's a pitch, fastball in to Jagger Jordheim. Jagger starting out in left field. Here's a pitch, swinging a little chopper right back to the mound. Werzer stumbles with it again, but recovers in time nicely, throws over to Rosberg, and the out is recorded on a 1-3 putout for the first out. 1-0 lead for Valley City. Remember, in the first game, the Valley City Kings struck first as well. They scored 1 run in the top of the first. Vikings answered back with 6 runs in that first inning. Here's the set and the pitch from the starting pitcher, Werzer. Zane Werzer on the mound. Where's number 32? Throws out of the stretch full time, has an 0-2 count. The pitch outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beckett Westby, the batter. Now the count's been changed to 2-1. Here's a pitch, fastball low. Josh Michelson, the umpire behind home plate. Gareth Hansen out on the base paths. Thank you, gentlemen. Fine job in the first game. Here's the 3-1 pitch. Fastball is in there. Now Werzer has a little bit of a herky-jerky type pitching for him. He steps with his left foot. He almost steps towards first base a little bit. And then he comes across with his arm as this pitch misses inside, and Beckett Westby draws a walk. And that'll bring up Bristol Swanson.
Brings up pitcher number 16, Bristol Swanson.
Bristol Swanson, where's number 16? He's starting on the mound for the Vikings. Nick Eggman coaching at third. Jerry Doctor coaching over at first base. Here's a pitch in there for a strike. I'm Mike Bernier along with Greg Kramer. We got Dan Nathan doing the PA. Eric Iverson running the music, running the scoreboard. Runner goes. 0-1 pitch is grounded towards the hole. Hey, a perfect hit and run executed right there. There will be no throw over to third base. So Bristol Swanson had the runner going.
Yeah.
Second baseman went to cover. Bristol Swanson dropped it right where the second baseman was, and it's a base hit. I don't know if that was a called hit and run, but whatever, it worked just like one, and so it worked very well.
When I ask Coach Eggman about it later, that'll for sure be a designed hit and run.
Yeah, I threw that sign down. Yeah. Runner goes. Here's a high fly ball into shallow right field. Right fielder comes on, makes a catch, throws over to first base. It won't be in time. A run does come across the score as Beckett Westby, who walked, comes across the score on the sacrifice fly for Isaac Johnson. Remember, Isaac Johnson drove in 4 runs in that first game. Now he drives in another with a sacrifice fly to right field. Second out is recorded. Another run batted in for Isaac. Ties the game at 1 apiece.
A lot of RBIs tonight for Isaac.
Yeah. In this inning, Ty Cordy, the catcher, had a sacrifice fly to right field. And now the Vikings, in Isaac Johnson, have a sacrifice fly to right field of their own. This is I believe that was a wild pitch. He was stealing, so if the runner was going, it is a stolen base, regardless if it's a pass ball or wild pitch. So a stolen base for Bristol Swanson. Pitch is in there for a strike. The batter, Anders Huseman, the center fielder. 1 run, 1 hit for each team. Bottom of the first inning. Anders Huseman trying to change the score. Here's a pitch from Zane Werzer. Fastball in there for a strike. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Like we mentioned, we might have to cut this game short. Some weather moving in, it looks like. And here's a pitch in the turf dirt, and that's going to move the runners up. I should say runner up. That's a wild pitch. Swanson moves up on the wild pitch.
An unconventional slide into third, but safe nonetheless.
Yeah. The result is a safe call from the umpire, and that's really what matters.
Works out the same.
Here's a 2-2 pitch. Fastball. Hit him. Anders Huseman hit by the pitch. Runners on first and third. Then brings up the catcher, number 20, Briar Gibbon.
Number 20, Briar Gibbon.
You know, I respect the crazy train play out of Briar here. It's a top 10 walk-up song he's got.
Two outs, runners on first and third. Let's see if Huseman takes off. Try to entice that run. Bristol Swanson not leading off at all. He was waiting for his coach's sign. So Briar Gibbons steps out. Let's see if he starts Anders Huseman here to try to entice a throw down to second base. Maybe score that run from third. Let's see how Valley City defends it. Here's the pitch. He takes off, pitches up, throw. Goes all the way through, and then the run is going to score. Now the throw goes all the way to the screen. That's going to move the runner up to third base. So it'll be a stolen base for Anders Huseman. He gets to third on the error. And Bristol Swanson scores on the throw down to second base. I don't think you credit him with a stolen base because it truly isn't a stolen base. They were trying to pick him off at second. I think you just score it as he scored on the throw. Here's a ground ball chopped over towards third base. Throw over to first base.
Nice play.
He held on, and he kept his foot on the base, and he's out. So it's a 5-3 putout for the third out of the inning. Nice play on both ends. Third baseman, first baseman. Vikings come across with a couple of runs on one hit. And at the end of one, they lead it by a score of 2-1 on yourliveevent.com.
For any accounting needs you may have, Todd R. World Certified Public Accountant has you covered. From income tax planning, preparation, and consulting for individuals and businesses. Todd Wold CPA would like to wish the best to the teams competing and thank the coaches and players for their hard work and dedication throughout the season on and off the field, as anything can happen every night at the Diamond. For more information, go online to wold-cpa.com. That's wold-cpa.com. Stay up to date all year long with your live event from our social platforms with X, Facebook, and YouTube. From the latest coaches show to watch game broadcasts back on demand from earlier in the season. Search your live event on YouTube and hit subscribe.
Outside the three-point arc. Pick and pop here with Spaeth into the left side corner. Three, good.
For the complete and most up-to-date schedule throughout the year, head to our website at yourliveevent.com.
And we're back. Kindred Vikings on top by a score of 2-1 in the second game of a doubleheader. This is a non-counter game. It gets a chance for everybody on both teams to get some at-bats, get some, stay fresh. There's a lot of baseball to be played for the Vikings in the next couple of days. Got a doubleheader against Castleton tomorrow in Castleton, and then Park River comes to town for a doubleheader on Saturday. We'll have both games on yourliveevent.com.
That was a fun take me out to ball game. That is the ball game.
And we're going to call this ball game. So it's a 2-1 score. I'm not sure it's an official game. I'm not sure it really matters in the end. But there's some lightning out coming in. There's some weather coming in. The umpires, the coaches decided to call this ball game.
Thank you all for coming tonight.
So we'll just talk about this. The Kindred Vikings technically win this one by a score of 2-1. It doesn't make any difference if it's an official ball game or not. We're here to have some fun. So the Kindred Vikings will travel to Castleton tomorrow, this Babe Ruth club, and play a doubleheader in Castleton. And then Saturday afternoon, a doubleheader, Park River comes to town. And we'll have those games on yourliveevent.com, and we'll have a lot of baseball for you throughout the summer. So I think what we'll do is before the rains come, and we'll shut down the press box here and protect this equipment from the lightning, and we'll just end this broadcast on yourliveevent.com. Thanks for watching, ladies and gentlemen.
Homegrown local radio is now worldwide with 24-hour streaming. Download the RJ Radio app to hear local voices from local radio with KRJB, KRJM, and KKCQ 24 hours a day from anywhere. You can listen to your favorite programs like the RJ Family Morning Show, local news, farm markets, music, high school sports, church services, more from anywhere. KRJB, KRJM, and 96.7 KKCQ is streaming on the RJ Radio app. Download it to your device and take us with you wherever you go.
Keep your car moving along with the team at Elite Automotive Center in Fargo. What sets Elite Automotive Center apart from the herd is their truly extensive list of services. From brake and tire service to tune-ups and battery replacement, there's no job too big or small for their ASE certified technicians. Schedule your next oil change by going to EliteAutomotiveCenter.com or scan the QR code on your screen now. Never settle for standard service. Stop by Elite Automotive Center today in Fargo.